just MailChimped my marketing.
You MailChimped your what?
I MailChimped my marketing with AI to create an effective marketing campaign in minutes.
No, MailChimp and Way.
Yes, MailChimp in Way. Now I can hyper-personalize my campaigns across email and SMS.
You can do all that with MailChimp?
What did I just MailChimp and say?
MailChimp your marketing with the #1 AI-powered email marketing and automation platform, Intuit MailChimp. #1 based on publicly available data on competitors' customers. Plans vary. SMS available as add-ons. Visit MailChimp.com.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Earning your degree online doesn't mean you have to go about it alone. At Capella University, we're here to support you when you're ready. From enrollment counselors who get to know you and your goals, to academic coaches who can help you form a plan to stay on track. We care about your success and are dedicated to helping you pursue your goals. Going back to school is a big step, but having support at every step of your academic journey can make a big difference. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu.
Hello, I'm your host, Les Bubka. Welcome to Anxious Black Belt, a podcast that focuses on karate, mental health, and everything in between. If you enjoy our content and would like to support us, best way to do that is to listen to another episode, share with your friends, and leave us a review. All this stuff helps the mysterious algorithm to introduce our podcast to new audience. Thank you for joining me, and let's listen to the episode. Hi guys, welcome. Today short podcast on a review of the seminar that we had last Sunday, so 22nd of September. We had Karate for Mental Health, raising funds towards registering the Karate for Mental Health community interest company, where we're gonna be trying to help people from the disadvantaged backgrounds by providing workshops. At the moment, the plan is to do 3 big projects and several small ones. So big project's gonna be a Karate for Mental Health, obviously, 10 seminars over 2 years in different locations around the UK. I hope we're gonna get money for that one, promoting mental health and kind of a changing the views of martial artists that don't have to be super tough guys or girls. We are able to share emotions without having a bad days, better days, and we can talk about it in a martial arts club or environment and get support from other people and show people that we can be human. We don't have to be that macho personifications of kind of 80s style of a man or a tough woman. Second project will be with Mary Stevens and Chris Webb. We're gonna try to provide again 10 workshops for women from self-defense, from disadvantaged backgrounds. We've got few charities hopping on that project and joining us. Hopefully we're gonna be able to target the women that are in the most need of that kind of course. And the third big project is with Tommy John Moore, hopefully workshops as well, trying to target a bit younger people, so teenagers and adolescents, persuading them to drop the weapons and do some sports, as well as, give them a good tools to protect themselves from the knife attacks, or at least being able to spot them, because this is the mostly growing group of people that are in danger, especially in London and bigger cities. So we want to try to do some good work to encourage them to get rid of the knives and do some sports. So that's the 3 big big projects. The two smaller ones I've got in mind is one is going to be another TISO group for the people who might be suffering with loneliness and depression and so on, and be here in Guildford, where hopefully Gary gonna be teaching a group. I'm not sure yet when and where, but that's one of the projects. Another one is in our dojo. I'm hoping to have funding to have a free classes during the day for people to just turn up and be able to train, do some martial arts, be some relief, hit some pads and just have a good time. So thanks to those who turn up, you help to save some money. We've got the money for a registration, and I hope for a year of running without the funding, just to kind of ticking over and then apply for funding. I'm part of the group who helps writing those applications and got support for that. So when I learn that, I'm gonna be passing the knowledge down, and maybe some clubs in UK from our friendly groups or members of the Karate for Mental Health will need that help with a writing the project application for funding, so I can hopefully help that. So on the seminar, we had 15 people, and the topics were very, very wide. My apologies, I managed to completely cock up on the time frame, so it was a bit of a mix of everything, and people have a shortened session, some have a longer session, and it's just my fault, totally, no excuses, my fault. So we started with Peter Jones doing a lecture on the injury prevention and kind of paperwork involved and what's allowed, what's not allowed, what is helpful, what is kind of a bad practice. And he took us through the interesting cases of injuries and how that could be prevented. So it was super interesting. Thank you to Peter. He been able to donate the time and get us through all those nuances of kind of side sometimes overlooked by instructors and kind of going through the motions and doing the paperwork without actually thinking what is legal and what is not legal and what can help you in case that something's going to happen then you're going to be sued. Peter also shared with us his book Ninja Nurse, which I highly recommend if you've got any interest in kind of injury prevention and stuff like that. It's available on the Amazon, so go and grab it. Then we had a lovely Joe and Greg from a Somerset Applied Karate, who took us through the role of play in learning martial arts, and they split up the session. Part of it was Greg doing, part was Joe. It's so lovely to see them cooperating together and running their club together, and the material is really, really nice. They've been doing lots of games, very simple games, but getting you warm up, getting you thinking about kind of overall what you can do instead of being specific on the techniques. And I kind of this was the theme of the seminar. We haven't been focusing on the strict techniques, but it was kind of more concepts and overall principles of training. Then we had the Bobby Coates doing a combination and his experience with Aikido and Karate, mixing the soft side of Aikido into the hard stuff in Karate. It was great to see how confident Bobby was. It was his first seminar, but he was well prepared and much better than I was when I started, and everything was delivered flawlessly, and techniques make sense, explanation was really good, and the combination of that Aikido and Karate worked really well for what he was showing, and kind of follow up with a theme that later on Brian Bates done. But after Bobby finished, we had a Robert Davies showing the kind of principle-based self-defense via lens of karate and what we can extract from kata and put into our advantage, but not necessarily being freaked out by the embusen and being strict in the kata, but trying to think what can I do in the moment and what works for me the best. I always appreciate Robert doing stuff because his no nonsense approach and honest opinion are always well balanced and spot on. So I really enjoy training with Robert. On the end was Brian Bates working with us on joint locks. So again, kind of Aikido Jiu-Jitsu and Karate mixed together. And instead of focusing on the names of the techniques, we work on the principles. So instead of saying Jujiuke or Jujigatame, he was saying that, extend the elbow, bend the wrist, turn the shoulder. So it was all kind of principle based instead of being again attached to the names. Go through the movements, find the joint locks where they are. Then we applied that with a little of a pressure. And here was a great surprise for me seeing that Brian come to the same conclusion that going slowly without the ego and trying to win through the motions and finding those motions work much better than our traditional karate approach that you punch, you freeze, and then you do the techniques. Everything in motion flows from one. Even if you're feeding to the person, you're going through that motions with a little bit of a resistance and pressure, and it works better. And we both concluded that the key to this is that we don't want to win, we just want to play. And a lot of karate games and karate kind of sparring is orientating for winning, which here again all tying up nicely with whole the theme of our seminar was that play is a key role in development of the martial artist. And on the end, I was talking a little bit about karate for mental health, but as I said before, I cocked up completely on the timings, so I only had a 5 minutes, so I just focus on the importance of grading system and building failure and how that overcoming the barriers is transcending into our lives and creating the habit of overcoming those obstacles is kind of relevant to all of our life. And you can learn that from karate, and karate gives you that visible grades and what did you overcome. And you can look back and assess your progression and see that in a very clear way that what you achieved, and that kind of spills over into the life. So again, super happy that we done it. Super happy that we managed to raise the funds. Super happy that everybody had a great time. Obviously, there was few things that didn't work very well because the whole our new dojo is still being renovated, so there was a little bit of a mess. But we managed to do it. I think everybody is happy. It's only gonna get better. So the builders went in. Obviously, they had to come day before our seminar, made a mess and stuff. So my apologies for that, but it's gonna be worth it. And also, I managed to grab everybody from the teaching side and have a conversation with them. It's at the moment being published on a Patreon for a Patreon supporters. So if you would like to join the Patreon, go to Les Bubka Karate Jutsu on Patreon, and you can get one of the tiers to support us, and then you got the kind of unique content and no adverts content and some videos, podcasts, and all I do kind of insight to behind the scenes as well. And after those, when I publish all of them, it's about six of that episodes, so short sound bites. We're gonna have it all put as a one podcast, so it's gonna come out, but I think it's gonna be about month or month and a half time. But it's gonna be on available to everybody on podcast when I finish with kind of dripping it into the Patreon. So today, very short one. Thank you for listening. And hey, if you want to support us, Patreon, Amazon, and buy me a coffee. Well done for listening to all of it. You are a superhero. Thank you very much for your support. And if you could leave us that review on a podcast platform, that would be amazing. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best until the next one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
When you earn your degree online at Arizona State University, you get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. The same internationally recognized faculty, the same nationally ranked programs, the same degree. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.